Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. In this video, we are going to see about exception handling, import statements, enum in dot. So let's get started. So first we'll see about dot import statements. So import statement is nothing but if you want to use some predefined dot functions. So before that you have to import those libraries in your file, then only you'll be able to access those functions. So by using import keyword, you can import the file here. So for now, I just import the math function here. So I have imported the math function. So now I can able to access those function which is inside the math libraries. So I can access now. So for now, I'll just declare one variable called a. I'll assign 4. So if I'm gonna access the square root of our a variable, means this square root function which is inside the math function, if you remove this line, you will be getting the compiler error, like which is not defined sqrt. So you have to import the math function, so before you are going to use those functions which is inside the math library. So if I run this, you can see the value here 2.0, the square root value. So I just change it, you can see the value. So you can also use some kind of operation in input statement, like if you want to access this particular package name with some variable, means you can use the as. So if I'm putting as math means, so here I'll be accessing the square root value from a variable like math dot square root. So if I run this, we'll be getting the same output here. I will change the value. So yeah. So another thing, if you want to if you want to access some particular functions which is inside our package, means, so you can use the show keyword here. So for example, we'll see there is another function here inside the math, like I'll just print it math dot pi, which is a pi value. So if I run this, you can see the 3.1415. So this is our pi values, or which is a predefined function inside our math library. So for example, if I want to show only square root, means I can just put it like this. So I remove this, so I can able to access our square root. So I can access the pi method, since I have given a condition like just show square root. So that's why it's just showing our square root here. So if I change the square root value to pi, so it will be only showing a pi. So you will be getting an error on square root. So yeah, so this is how you can put a condition there. So you can also use a conditional import statement here, like inside the import you can use if here of some condition here, the condition is works, this library will be imported, otherwise this library will be executed. So this is how the conditional statement works in dot import. And enum is a enumerated data type in dot. By using that, you can create your own data type, just like this. Enum is a keyword. I'll just name it as a device status here. So inside that, I'll just put those two values, like enabled and disabled. Okay. So inside our main function, I'll just create one variable called status and just assign this our type called enabled. So you can just pass this variable into your conditional statement, like switch status, and I'm gonna create a case like status enabled. So I'll just print enabled here. So break. So second case will be a disabled one. That will be just printing a disabled. And I have to put a default here. Valid. Yeah. So if I run this, you can see the console, it just printing enabled here. And if I just change the value here to disable means, I rerun this, you can see disabled. So this is how the enum works in Dart. So you can create your own data types wherever you want, and you can access it like this. So we'll be handling exception here by using try catch. So this is a syntax for the try catch. So inside the try will be executing some certain block of code here. So if that code gets crashed at runtime, that catch will be executed. So for example, just declare one variable a, just assigning value 10 here. So if I'm trying to print a tilde slash 10, I'm just dividing a 10 divided by 0 here. So right now the compiler will not give you the exception, like we can't divide anything from 0. So this will be only occurs at runtime. So if, for example, if I run this, we'll be getting the handled exception, like integer division by 0 exception is occurred. So like we have to handle this exception in our code. So for that only we are gonna use that try catch here. From this try here, and I'm gonna catch the error here. Exception occurred. So if I run this, so the code is executed without any exception, like just showing the exception occurred our text only. So this is how we will be handling exceptions in our Dart code. And you can also like handle a specific exception here by using on here. So this is the syntax for that. So for this exception, this is integer division by 0 exception, right? So we can directly put a text here. Integer can't be divided by 0. So if I run this, you can see the exception is arised as a integer division by 0 exception. So it's just printing the value which is inside, like what we have given here. So you can also call a finally method, like so no matter what the exception is occurs, so after first we will be checking the condition which is inside the try. So if the exception is occurred, so this will be executed, this part of the code will be executed. So after that the finally will be always executed in our exception handling. So we just print a finally. If I run this, you can see the finally will be executed always. So after this condition will be satisfied, or no matter what it's happened here, those try and catch, the finally will be executed always. So yeah, this is how our exception handling works in our Dart. And now we'll see about by using combination of functions and enums and import statements to make some arithmetic operations. Now I'll just this, I'm gonna declare a enum here, like arithmetic type. So inside this, I'm gonna give a value called add and sub and multiply and division and square root. So for now this is fine. So and I'm gonna make a function here void perform operation. So I'm gonna take two values as a parameter here. One is a and another one is a b. After that I need a type also, arithmetic type. So inside our function I'll just make a switch. I'll just pass a type here. And inside the type we have to add our cases here. Let's add and we'll be like getting a callback function to here for returning our operation value from this function to our main. So this is how the callback function will be declared. Function, I'll name it as a callback. So if the given type is add, means we have to call a callback with a plus b. Since this is an integer, I think we have to put an integer here. Yes. So break here. So another one is a do subtraction, callback a minus b. So next is division, callback a tilde slash b. I will be calling a break here. After that we'll be calling a square root. So for accessing our square root method from our math library, we have to import it like math. We'll call it as a math. Okay. So inside our square root, we're calling our callback function with a like math dot square root a. So I think this will be returning a double, I think, yes. So that's what it's showing. So we'll be casting our double as int. So this will be converted double into integer here. So break and what else I'm missing? Yeah, multiply. Inside the callback a stubby here. So break will be called. So we'll declare our default here. We'll just print invalid. So I think I have covered all add, sub, multiply. Yes. So now we'll call this function from our main. So for first add, we'll be calling this perform operation. So we have to give values here. So I'm gonna just print the coming value here. Since we are passing the integer, I'm just taking that as a value e here. So I'm just printing the e here, and initially I'll be passing a value as 10 and b value as 10, and our type will be arithmetic type dot add. So if I run this main function, you will see the value is 20. So we are passing a value 10 and 10. So it will be assigning for a and b respective values here inside our perform operation function, and we will be calling a, will be sending the add type here. So it will be coming here this section. So our callback function will be like sending the values from this function to that function. So we'll be calling callback function by addition of these two values. So this value is coming here, e, and I'm just printing the e value here. So that's why that 20 is printing. So just like this for subtraction, I'm just changing the a value to 20 here, and I'm just changing the type to sub here. If I run this, see the name here like addition is, then only it won't be confused for us. Addition is and subtraction is, sub is full name is. Okay, so if I run this, you can see the addition is 20 and the subtraction is 10. So for subtraction, we have sent a value, a value as 20 and b value as 10. So 20 minus 10, so 10. So that's why it's returning the 10 from this perform operation function. And I'll just copy this. So we'll do multiply here, calling multiply here. We'll just run this. Just see that 20 into 10 is a 200, so multiply is showing 200 here. So I just copy this. We'll do division now. Just call it division. I will just change to division is like 20 divided by 10. So yeah, so 20 divided by 10 is 2, so that's why it's showing here. And after the division, I think the last one is a square root, that yeah. So for square root, we don't need a second value here, I think. So you can pass whatever the value you want, or you can also just pass this as a null. Or is that the square root? Yes. Oh, it's not accepting null, can't be type. So yeah, you can also put a question mark here. You have to use exclamatory here. So since the dot is upgraded to null safety, so we have to take care of those null safety values here. Okay, so just send it to square root is, so if I run this, okay, double is not subtype of intent typecast. Okay, so we can't cast this to double. I think we can pass this int dot pass. Oops. I think we can use this to directly. Yeah, I'll just run this. So yeah, see the square root of 20 is 4. So that's why the value is printing here. So we have called all of our arithmetic type here to the perform operation function. So this is how we will be using our import conditions and enums, and using those callback function, exception handling in our dot. So that's all for the today's videos, guys. So we'll see more concepts in future videos, so stay tuned.